done a couple test runs, but nothing quite this serious. Welcome to Creatively Processed, the place for creative entrepreneurs to come together and connect on the upsides and downfalls of being your own boss. The intro's the hard part. That's the part that I just can't get behind because it's scripted, and that's just not me. Hello, how are you? I hope you're having a fantastic day. This is the first episode of the pod. I'm so excited. I have so many ideas and I think it's going to be so fun. But today we're kind of just going to talk about the vibe. What's the vibe? What are we doing here? I'll tell you, okay? Just hold your horses because that's exactly what we're covering today. We're going to talk about the structure of the pod. We're going to talk about having guests on the pod, and we're going to talk about who the heck I am and what I'm doing here and who am I to speak? Who am I to raise my voice? Grab some water, or actually no, grab some water because stay hydrated. Thank you very much. I've been sick for 5 days, and I had a stomach virus, and now I have something going on with my throat. It is the worst. I hate being sick, and I feel like when you're sick, it's just such a reminder of how valuable your health is and how feeling okay makes such a difference in your life. Anyway, let's dive in. The structure of this podcast, I want it to be incredibly structured so it's easy to follow and organized, and also because my brain is it needs to have a plan. Otherwise, I'm just going to go off track, and that's just not good. So I have specific talking points that I'll talk about each week, and there'll also be a grand scheme theme that we'll talk about. But to start off, I will do a weekly recap where I'll talk about the projects I did for work, any random habits that I found myself doing, media that I've consumed in the form of literally anything, music, TV, movies, YouTube, whatever it is. I always have background noise going on when I'm working, so I do, as much as I hate to say it, I do consume a lot of media, but I find it really inspiring, and that's where I get a lot of my inspiration, and especially in the wintertime, because it is too cold to go outside with my iPad and draw. That's not gonna happen. No, ma'am. No. My toes will turn to icicles, thank you. After the weekly recap, I will talk about my goals for the week going forward, things I need to focus on, things I need to do a better job with, new habits I want to implement. Hopefully that'll inspire you guys to set some goals and kind of have a vision for your next week ahead. I find it so much easier to get things done when I have a plan set up and I kind of know what I want to do. And then the last part of the podcast will be the topic of discussion. This can be anything from creative / entrepreneur struggles, breakthroughs, content creation, marketing, client work. There's just so many things that go inside of being your own boss, and it's so overwhelming that it's just for me, it's nice to talk about, and hopefully for you, it's nice to listen and know that you're not alone. I also plan on having guests on the podcast. I'm really excited about that. Just different artists, entrepreneurs, business owners, whatever, creative people, and I want them to be able to share their struggles. It'll be like an interview style type of situation when guests are on, but we'll still hit the same points that we do every week, but you'll get another perspective, and I think that's so valuable to have multiple people discussing the same things in different lenses. I just find that to be eye-opening and also inspiring. Who doesn't love inspiration? I always need new inspiration because I'm constantly creating. It's so easy to burn out. Everybody uses that word. But burn out, lose inspiration, have no direction, and man, there is nothing that gets my gears going, not in a bad way, but turns the engine on in my brain. Nothing gets it going like hanging out with another creative friend, and I just feel like I'm such a hermit most of the time, but once I get together with a friend, it's like a whole new world. I'm in a new era. Like, we're ready to take on the next chapter, basically. I'm a new person every time I hang out with my friends. It doesn't matter if it's the same friend each week. We're new versions of ourselves every single time. Metamorphosis, baby. Shameless plug if you're watching YouTube. Embrace change. It's a new hoodie that I designed that I love, and apparently a lot of other people loved it too, so that's a good sign. My furnace is running, so I apologize if there is any background noise. Hopefully this microphone's good enough to not pick that stuff up, but I don't really know. I don't know. I'm new to this. Done a couple test runs, but nothing quite this serious. Okay, now that we've discussed what to expect, it is now time to discuss who the heck I am, what I'm doing, where I came from. It's time to get to know me, baby. Oh, I was really afraid I was gonna spill my water, and luckily it didn't land on my laptop. That would have sucked. So, about me, let's dive into that. My name is Carly. I am 23 years old. I own a business called Moon and Stars Formations, where I sell stickers, t-shirts, sweatshirts, long sleeves, tote bags, just all of the things you can imagine that have my artwork on it. I used to sell a bunch of jewelry. That was kind of like the main vibe. Jewelry, hair accessories, just all crystal, semi-precious stone jewelry. But recently, going into 2024, I wanted to lighten my load, and honestly, the materials that I had to lug around to make jewelry, it was just too much, and it was kind of suffocating. So I decided, hey, why don't I stop doing that and then just have my iPad and work from anywhere with a notebook-sized piece of equipment. So that's what I did, and holy crap, my life has changed. It's not even the end of January, but everything is different. Everything is better. I'm way more productive with everything, not just with work, but like my house is cleaner. I'm happier. The whole family's happier. Like, life is good. Speaking of family, I'm engaged. Yes, I am. I have 4, well, they're not my stepkids, but they will be. But yeah, we have 4 kids living in our house. They're not necessarily kids. 2 of them are older, so I don't really classify them as children. But yeah, 4 kids, 2 adults, 3 animals. Very small house. So it's chaotic, but it's fun. The 3 animals, I have 2 cats that are like mine, but everybody loves them. They're everybody's cats. They're the family cats. One of them is long-haired, black and white. His name is Ravi, which means sun. And then we have a long-haired gray cat named Cosmo. I love him. He's an idiot. And then we have a husky lab mix, and her name is Luna. She is the stupidest animal I've ever met, but I do love her. I love her even though she's dumb. So yeah, we have, like, obviously Luna means moon, so we have the sun, the moon, and the stars, Cosmo. So we're a celestial oriented family, which I appreciate because that's my life. Moon and Stars Formations. I'm into hippie things. My artwork is very inspired by the hippie era, and all things celestial and just like woo woo. Love all that. I love old TV, old music, old movies. Anything old is great. But I would say that my preferred form of long form content would definitely be YouTube. I love YouTube. I've always loved YouTube. I used to make videos when I was like 18, but I stopped because I started going to school, and that just took up way too much of my brain space. But here we are now, killing 2 birds with 1 stone with a podcast, which I love. I'm so happy about that. And I'm hoping that the podcast kind of gives me more courage to make other forms of YouTube content because I just love YouTube. Oh my gosh. I love it. And I love watching other small businesses make YouTube videos. That I love that stuff, especially when I'm working myself. It's so inspiring to see other people do the work that I need to get done. And it's like, all right, get up. They're doing it. You need to do it. Let's go. But I'm not trying to bite off too much at once because that's who I am as a person. Just too much. So I'm trying to reel it back and be conscious of my decisions. We're growing. Okay, we're growing. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I don't really have much to say. If you have questions about me, I'll answer them. I just don't really know how to introduce myself or explain what I do. It's kind of hard when you have to do it all as a business owner. Like, I'm an accountant. That's a lie. I have an accountant, but if you're a small business owner and you have an accountant, you know that you still have to keep track of your receipts and stuff and like put that crap in a spreadsheet. If you don't, okay, that's just your tip of advice for the week. Start the new year off strong, okay? Get yourself a spreadsheet and organize that crap. You will thank yourself later. This is me speaking from experience because let me tell you, sitting in your mess of receipts in January April. I don't know when you guys do your taxes, but sitting in that pile of receipts is it's doomsday. It's the end. It's too much. There's nothing more depressing than putting something off for so long and absolutely suffering the consequences of your actions. Start a spreadsheet. Thank you. That's pretty much everything for this episode. Hopefully that gave you kind of a good idea. I'm sure in the next episodes I will be talking much more. Fun fact, I'm a Gemini, so I do be talking quite a lot. This is minimal, people. This is minimal. I will be chatting it up. Hopefully you got a good grasp on what we're going to be accomplishing together here. I am excited for the episodes to come. I've got lots of different ideas. Let me actually read some off for you. Changing a business structure, like what I just did, switching from jewelry to art. Books that I love books, so I would love to talk about that. Loneliness of being an entrepreneur, different business strategies, creating routines, especially for people who can't create a routine to save their life. I'm talking about myself. Okay, content creation blocks, tips on starting a business, creating ambassador programs. Oh, I would love to talk about digital creation and like different products for artists and stuff, specifically how the Apple ecosystem has a chokehold on me. There's no getting out of that grip. I would love to talk about that because I'm stuck. I would also love to share stories from like pop-ups and just other scenarios that you run into as an entrepreneur. So those are kind of just some ideas. Feel free to let me know if you have any topics you want me to talk about. This podcast is going to be just as much for you as it is for me, so I'm happy to have a balance of what everybody wants. That's all I've got for you. Make sure to check out the different socials. We've got TikTok and Instagram. I'll be putting clips up there. Maybe some teasers to get you excited. And also, that's going to be like my main form of communication. Stay tuned for the next episode where I'll be talking much more. And I will also be hosting a giveaway in collaboration with my business for all of the listeners who have decided to be beautiful little angels and tune in your beautiful ears. Speaking of giveaways, when I collaborate with guests, I would like to do giveaways with them as well, so you can kind of get your hands on some of the cool art that the other people have to offer after you get to know them on the podcast. Like, I just think that'd be so fun. So definitely stay tuned for that too, because there's gonna be a lot of goods to be given, and I'm pumped for it. But that's all. Make sure to like or rate or thumbs up or comment and subscribe and follow and do all the things. And I will see you in the next episode.